Hello and welcome to your weekly learning update. When we talk about stress, our minds usually jump to deadlines, bills, all that daily pressure. But what happens when stress is deeper than that? When it actually creates a wound in who we are? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, a neuropsychosocial look at traumatic stress. And we're so excited to feature a brand new, really powerful session from Winnie E. Maduro. Her session is all about how to recognize traumatic stress and respond with what she calls neuropsychosocial resourcefulness. It's such a profound way of understanding the real impact trauma has, not just on the mind, but deep within the body.
So to really get this, we have to start by looking beyond our typical idea of stress. Yeah, we all deal with pressure. But what happens when that stress isn't just a temporary challenge? What if it settles in and starts to fundamentally change our entire physiology?
And this is where we see a really crucial difference. On one hand, you've got acute stress. It's temporary, it comes and goes, and it can actually help us build resilience. But chronic traumatic stress, that's a whole different ballgame. It's pathological. It chips away at a person's ability to cope and literally alters their nervous system.
Winnie captures the heart of it with this quote. She calls it a wound in the self. See, it's not just about a series of bad things that happen to someone. It becomes part of them. It shapes their identity, their suffering, and the very way they experience the world. It's the trauma that lives on long after the event itself is over.
Now, to understand this wound, we have to go beyond our conscious thoughts and look at the body's own silent guardian, our nervous system. We have this ancient automatic system that's always running in the background, constantly scanning everything around us, and it's trying to answer one simple, vital question: am I safe right now?
And there's a word for this. It's called neuroception. It's not perception. That's something we do consciously. This is totally unconscious. Think of it like an internal radar, always picking up on tiny cues, the tone of someone's voice, their body language, the feeling of a room, to figure out if we're safe enough to connect or if we need to be on guard.
And the actual hardware that runs this whole system? It's the incredible vagus nerve. It's this superhighway of information that travels from our brainstem all the way down through our heart, lungs, and gut. It's the reason we can slow our heart rate, feel calm, and connect with other people. It's the absolute foundation of our social engagement system. This all leads us to a truly revolutionary idea, polyvagal theory. Now, instead of thinking about stress as a simple on-off switch, just fight or flight, this theory gives us a much richer map. It describes our nervous system states like a ladder that we're always moving up and down throughout our day. So let's break down this ladder. At the very bottom, you have the dorsal vagal state. This is our oldest, most primitive response. It's shutdown, collapse, freeze. It's what happens when a threat feels totally overwhelming. A step up from that is the sympathetic state. We all know this one. It's that mobilized energy of fight or flight. But at the very top, which is our goal, is the ventral vagal state. This is where we feel safe, connected, and creative. So healing, in this view, is really about helping ourselves and our clients learn how to climb that ladder back up to safety and connection.
And this is the part that gets really exciting for us as practitioners. Understanding this completely transforms how we approach healing. It shifts our focus away from just the story of the trauma and puts it squarely on the state of the person's nervous system. We move away from purely talk-based approaches and toward honoring the wisdom of the body.
Which, of course, brings up the big question, right? If trauma is actually held in the body as a physiological state, what does that mean for our work? How do we adapt what we do to meet clients where they truly are in their nervous system?
Well, it means some really important shifts in our work. It's about moving beyond just talking and into what we call co-regulation, using our own calm nervous system to help soothe another's. It's about focusing on somatic awareness, helping people tune into their body's signals. And so importantly, it's about seeing their responses, like anxiety or shutdown, not as problems to be fixed, but as brilliant survival strategies that help them get through.
And this right here is the heart of it. You just can't rationalize your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. You can't just think your way out of a freeze response. Real healing happens through relationship, through creating safety, and through learning to listen to the incredible wisdom that the body holds.
Now, everything we've touched on here is really just scratching the surface of Winnie's incredible session. If this has sparked your curiosity, we really hope you'll dive into the full recording and continue your journey into lifelong learning right alongside us.
Because her session is now live in our ever-growing learning library. And when we say growing, we mean it. There are literally thousands of hours of CPD content in there, just waiting for you to explore whenever and wherever you want.
You get access to all the new weekly content, like Winnie's session, plus our entire back catalog. We're so passionate about making this kind of deep learning accessible to our community, which is why it's all available for just $9.99 a month.
So, we'll leave you with this thought to carry with you. What if the key to healing doesn't just lie in the story the mind tells, but in the profound, unspoken wisdom that the body holds?